Hello, investors, and welcome back. Let's talk about SNDL. I want to explain this price action last week. Before we closed out, Thursday, before Good Friday, I sent out a second video just to explain that I did expect some market volatility because of the postponement of the earnings release. Zach spoke yesterday at the Bazinga conference in Miami, Florida. He said he took full responsibility, did a really small video clip yesterday, posted that for you guys so that way those of you that were not able to make it, you could just hear what he had to say. I thought that that was great, that he took full responsibility, and that he reiterated that there shouldn't be anything wrong with the filings. They're just going to need to hire some more people, and they've got to put some controls in place, and there's obviously going to be some things that they need to fix. They've went from 30 million to about 3 billion, and within that short time frame, there were a lot of changes within the company. I also want to talk about macroeconomic indicators that are really driving this price. We're going to look at the charts. We're also going to do some comparisons of other companies. For all of this, all I ask is just subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 5,000. Give the video a like. That really keeps me motivated. Let's get straight into it. Now, today, the markets took a tumble, and this could be really hard when you're looking at your portfolio. That hawkish remarks from the Fed Reserve Chair Powell was hinting at a half-point rate hike likely to happen next month, and all three of the major indices started tumbling on Thursday's session. So that's what you've seen today. And typically after the Fed speaks, you see a rebound in the market. So I like to believe that the market likes to know what's happening, and then once it knows what's happening and it's set in stone, typically it starts to follow suit. But you've seen all of the major top stocks, major indices take a drop today. I'm expecting maybe some type of recovery tomorrow, but let's take a look at the U.S. economic calendar, because for those of you that don't know how to look at this and just have a little bit of expectation, you might be able to time the market just a little bit. That's a dangerous statement to make, but I will say that if you scroll down here and you see any time that the Fed is going to speak, and that's what happened today at 1 p.m. Thursday, April 21st, Fed Chair Powell speaks on global economic, IMF, and that's what you started to see at the beginning of the day. Everything was good, and then leading economic indicators at 10 a.m., everything was peaking, and then it just came straight down in preparation for this meeting with Fed Chair Powell. So if we look at tomorrow, we've got manufacturing and U.S. services data. Tomorrow could be a good day, and then next week we could see some volatility. If there is a housing bubble, the housing news is supposed to come out. New home sales, we've got home ownership rate, we've got the initial job claims. I don't see an issue there, but we've got employment cost and so on and so forth. So be sure to take a look at this. This is all free to look at. Let's get straight into SNDL. Today there was a Form 6K filed today, just talking about how they were going to change their audit team. So they did make that change. They had that notification come out. But despite speculation, Zach just really wanted to reiterate at that conference that there wasn't going to be anything out of the ordinary with these filings that come out. So they were supposed to be on point. Everything's supposed to still be looking good. And that's basically what you're seeing being reported by everyone that listened to what he had to say. So he reiterated that. Now, I have been reading every single comment that people leave, and most of the comments are pretty bullish. There are some bearish comments, and I always welcome bearish comments because I want to know both sides of the story, and I want to be completely unbiased when I'm covering any videos and any stocks in this channel. Now, here is what I was able to find on Ticker Terminal as far as insider transactions. Now, the CEO purchased 8 million shares at a price of 62 cents on January 4th, 2022 for a 0.39% of the total outstanding shares. And down here on right before the end of the year at a price of 44 cents, there was also another purchase. I don't know if this was a purchase or part of him being issued shares, but a 0.05% also here. So I didn't see any data that led me to believe that Zach was selling off or shorting the company, but please let me know in the comments below if you have any other data sources that say that, he purposely set the company up to postpone. He shortened his own company. I just don't see the data to support that, but I could be missing it. I did put some lines in here, additional lines on the charts, but I've got these in there for you for those of you that are looking to make a play. And I don't want this to sound like a sales pitch. I have strong confidence in this company that their earnings not only is going to be good, I don't think it's going to be amazing. I don't think it's going to be outstanding. I think it's going to be consistent and show significant improvement. And what we're really looking forward to, and why I've really been on the bandwagon the last 3 or 4 weeks with SNDL, was leading up to that final approval combination with Alcana. Now, Canada is not nearly as big as anything in comparison to the United States. So it looks like they're going to get a strong, firm hold. He's going to be up in the top 3, of cannabis and liquor brands in Canada. He's going to get that working first, and then they may look for a movement into the United States. That's the possibility. So strong movement. I believe that this is going to grow into its share price. I don't believe it's going to be delisted. I don't believe that there's going to be a reverse stock split. I think there's enough time between now and August. I'm talking about August. We've got this earnings coming up. We've got another earnings. So I would say give this time. There's plenty of time there. July. We're not even looking at July right now. So we've got another quarter that we can work through. But right here, 52, 56. That's where I had the line drawn in for those of you that were eager to add to your position. But I said that I would not be adding to my position unless this was in the 47-cent range or went down to about 45. So I'm going to reiterate that again. I say patience in this market is going to pay off. Down here at 0.5031 is where it hit today and found some resistance or support. So down here it found some support and met resistance up here at about 51.60. So it looks like it's still in a downtrend if you take into account the 20th to the 22nd, and I expected this now leading up to earnings. And once we get a notification that this stock is about to report, they're going to do the conference call, release the financials, we could see an uptick in this price. But we are 20 times, 20.95 price to sales, trailing 12 months. And just to put that into some perspective, 20 is high. This is a highly diluted company, but I believe they're going to grow into their share price. Are we going to get to $2? Are we going to get to 3, 4, 5? Let's get to 1, and I believe all the catalysts come after that. I believe we see our $1 compliance come out. I believe after we hit $1, after we get guidance, we get an analyst upgrade, but we have to get guidance. It's got to be very, very clear that we get guidance. I don't expect this to go over $1 after this next report unless guidance is absolutely clear. There's a possibility, but I believe shorts and people are going to try and keep pressing this down because the reverse stock split would actually reduce the total share count. And I believe that somewhere out there, I believe that that is ultimately what they're going to try and force happen. I just don't think with their next filing that comes out, their Q1, hopefully that's what we're going to see is this Alcana positive cash flow. They're going to enter into a positive cash flow position. How can you hold this stock down? That's why I've been talking about this one. It's just too obvious. Now, if we look at another competitor, if we look at Tilray, now I like mentioning Tilray because it seems to have the same market trends as Sundial. Every time I look at this, I look at Tilray just see if this is macroeconomic indicators affecting the price. So when I'm looking at charts, typically I look at Tilray and I look at Sundial because they're always mirroring each other as far as economic indicators, macroeconomic indicators. You could see it has a totally different story on a quarterly basis for that price to sales. Look, 11.8, 11.5, 3, 3.86. It's never been lower. And it's just the opposite story here with Sundial. We've absolutely been diluted, and I want to make sure that everybody understands that that is the worst thing for shareholders. You're getting a smaller piece of the portion. And if we go and look at another company, Canopy, right here, it has been severely diluted. 30, 20, 11, 7, 6.23. These are low price to sales trailing 12 months So it's really important next month that we do a buyback. The CEO knows that. It's really important that we recognize higher revenue. That's not going to happen next week totally, completely. It's going to be improved, but it's not going to be the long-term fix. The combination, the business combination, and the equity stake in Nova Cannabis and everything else that this company plans on doing, that's really going to move this stock price. The $1 compliance, I can't say that enough. So why do I keep talking about SNDL? I believe in their future growth. I believe in what the turnaround story of the company. So hang tight. The payoff day is coming. A lot of people are going to take profits next week. If you decide to take profits next week because guidance isn't clear enough, I would say hear through the conference call, listen to guidance. If you've worked on getting a cost average and you're a long-term investor, you've waited this long to get that 50-cent range, I don't think it's coming back again. I could be wrong. It could be completely wrong, but it'll be one of those stocks that will no longer be a penny stock. Give it a year or two. I mean, it's going to take time. There's market consolidation. The regulation is still complicated, but Canada is much further along in their process than the United States. Those are just my thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. That's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next video.